Hello everyone, this is my intro video and basically my Boston Marathon story. I guess it really starts when I was watching the Olympics in 1972 as a 13-year-old boy, and the final event of the Olympics traditionally was the men's marathon, so I wound up watching that. Every day at the Olympics I would, I was watching them on TV, and then Dad would come home from work and I would kind of report to him about what was happening, what I had seen that day and so forth. Dad proceeds to tell me that there was just one marathon in the United States, the Boston Marathon. He had grown up in Brookline, so up in that area, so he was certainly quite familiar with it. He didn't realize that although there weren't a whole lot of marathons, there was one that was run about 15 miles from home in New Jersey. Anyway, I was really taken by the incredible distance of 26 miles and change, so I wound up vowing that one day I would run the marathon. Started training, running around my yard, had no clue what I was doing. Went out that fall, I believe it was, for cross country in high school. Ran all 4 years of high school. Went through college, was not good enough to run on my college's team, so basically walked away from it for quite a number of years. Ran recreationally off and on. Anyway, sometime, I want to say maybe it was fall of 2001 or thereabouts, word broke that they were going to be opening up the BQ standards in 2003. And so I decided, this might be my one chance to make it. So I started training to chase that. I got up to running around 40 miles a week in 2003. Took a shot that fall at qualifying up at Mystic Places in Connecticut. Was coming off a cold, ran a 3:45 and change. Decided to take a second crack 4 weeks later down at Philadelphia, ran a 3:39 and change. I needed, by the way, because I was still under 45, I needed a 3:20 in order to qualify. 2004, I was having a lot of trouble with plantar fasciitis, and managed, to get some training in, but decided to stay away from the marathon because of the amount of abuse on the body paired with the injury. Fall of 2004, I got wind of a problem happening in New York. Coach Arthur Lydiard was supposed to be coming in for the marathon. He was supposed to give a talk at one of the running stores in the area. It was basically the person at the store backed out at the last minute. I managed to throw something together, rented a site, and got at least word out to a few people. There were only maybe 6 or 8 of us who were at that event. The weekend of marathon weekend of 2004, so that was early November. Got some advice from Coach Lydiard, which was very good. He basically told me to run through the plantar fasciitis, which I did. Coach Lydiard unfortunately passed away roughly a month later down in Dallas, and so that was it. But I basically followed his training plan, and the following spring I got up to about 50 miles a week. Ran the Long Island Marathon first weekend in May, and because I was 44 at the time, I was qualifying as a 45-year-old, so I had the easier standard of 3:30. In those days, the Boston Standard of 3:30 was written as 3:30XX. So in other words, if you were under 3:31, you would qualify. So we had things a bit easier in those days, and there weren't the kind of crowds where they were having to disqualify people who were close under the standard. Anyway, in 2006, I ran Boston. Didn't really. I still was dealing with plantar fasciitis. I didn't train quite as hard as I should have, and had ran a 4:15. So it was a fairly unspectacular thing, but I got there and got through it. So that's my Boston Marathon story, and good meeting you all. I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Wayne Baker, but I'm on the Boston Buddies and Facebook as Warren Monk. Long story behind that. Essentially, I was teaching and didn't want kids to find me. So that's it. Enjoy your evenings. Bye-bye.